Thank you for having me on. As you mentioned, the U.S. government so far deported 120 undocumented immigrants, and this time around, and I think it is today that it's going to happen. 55 more Iranian undocumented immigrants are being deported. Based on the reports that I've read, most of those illegal immigrants are leaving the country voluntarily because they are saying that their situation in detention centers are very bad and they couldn't tolerate it anymore. Some of them have been held for months. Without having hope that they will ever get out of that situation. But there are some cases, for example, CNN interviewed a couple of those refugees who said they are members of the LGBT community, and they fear that going back to Iran is going to have consequences for them. But so far, for the first round of for the first group that were deported back to Iran, we haven't received any reports that they have been jailed or interrogated. But yes, of course, each case is different, and I think U.S. government should be more cautious, especially for Iranians, given the situation in Iran. But let's analyze why we have this situation. Illegal entry through the United States, especially for Iranians, is a new phenomenon, and I think this goes back to the fact that unlike in the past, Iranians could go through UNHCR process in third countries such as Turkey, go through the process, apply for asylum, and the U.S. government could also verify their claims, and then they could come to the United States after 2 years, 3 years of background check and so on. But since 2015, that process no longer exists. So Iranians have no way, those who fear persecution, they have no way but go through the southern border. Of course, not every case is legitimate, but there are cases that, many human rights groups claim they have legitimate fear of living in Iran and they need a safe space.
Well, yeah, of course, there are no safe and legal routes for Iranians hoping to flee the repression at home. And of course, they could be very useful assets to the United States.
Yeah. And another point is that also U.S. has shifted its priorities. For example, after the fall of Afghan governments in 2021, and also after Russia-Ukrainian war, so the U.S. government has brought more than 100,000 Afghans, and it is prioritizing Ukrainians. So they don't have any appetite for any other groups coming to the United States because there are so many refugees. And generally speaking, American public opinion toward immigration or asylum seekers has also become more negative. So it has become a huge issue in the United States.
Yeah, it was definitely a vote winner for President Trump, wasn't it? Navid, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much. Navid Mohebbi, thank you.
Thank you for having me on.